right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about a company called BEEM Global, stock ticker BEEM. BEEM Global is a small cap, high growth EV stock. We cover the small cap EVs a lot. If that's content that you guys are interested in, please do us a favor and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, of course, if you enjoy this video, please smash the like button and feel free to leave a comment below. We do have a link in our pinned comment below to our Discord, so that is free, and we're shooting towards 500 people there, so we would love for you to join us. So again, that's in the pinned comment below. All right, let's get to BEEM Global. I want to talk about BEEM. They had a press release. They made an acquisition recently. Over the last couple of weeks, it really seems to have started to take off, and I think a lot of it has to do with this acquisition. So I want to look at the acquisition, I want to talk a little bit about the company, and then I want to go to the chart and show you what it has already done and what I think it might be able to do going forward. So just to start out, you'll see it's trading at $16.15 right now. It's up between 8 and 12% up on the day. So it's having a big day today. I just want to show you the volume. We're only a few hours into the trading day, and we're already at 323,000 shares. This is a company that usually only trades 353,000 on the average per day. So it's a high volume trading. It's a big up day, and you'll see the market cap of this company is only $146 million. So this is a very small cap company with, in my opinion, massive room to grow. And if you look at their 52-week range, you'll see just within the last 52 weeks, this stock has been over $50. It's been higher than that, over the last year and a half. I think it has upside that goes beyond even that. So we'll talk about that when we get to the chart. Okay, BEEM Global announces strategic acquisition of AllCell Technologies, a leader in energy storage solutions. This was a very big and very strategic acquisition for them. One of the main reasons is this is an energy storage company. So this is a product that they have been buying, and this is a company they've been dealing with for years. It is one of their largest costs in their cost of goods sold. So the fact that they now own this company and can produce it themselves is going to have a very big impact on their gross profit, which is one of the keys for this company to get to a place where it's profitable. You'll see that prior to this transaction, and this has not been updated for it, they had about 9 million shares outstanding. So that is one of the lowest outstanding shares. That's not the float. That's the total shares outstanding. The float was about 8 million. This adds about 1 million shares. So there's still only a company that has 10 million shares. That is extremely low. So as we look at price sales and price earnings, with this few shares outstanding, it's going to be very easy for them to get to profitability levels that will drive this stock price up dramatically. All right, I'm just going to quickly go through their updated investor presentation and just hit a few of the highlights. So they start right off with BEEM Global acquires AllCell Technologies, leader in advanced energy storage solution. Here's the benefits that they're getting for this, and we talked a little bit about this. Increase and diversify revenues and gross profits. So not only are they a purchaser of this, so they get to use this and increase their gross profit, but they also, this company has a lot of other customers. So they now control a big piece of their own supply chain, and they have an additional revenue stream for the company. So those are big improvements. Number two, significantly reduced cost of goods sold. We talked about that. So this is their biggest component in their cost of goods sold. So they now have not only secured the supply chain so that they will have enough, but obviously they get all the gross profit on this now because they own the company and they're doing it themselves. Enhanced foundational intellectual property portfolio. AllCell Technology has a lot of intellectual property surrounding their energy storage systems. Of course, as BEEM acquires that whole thing, they now have that in addition to the substantial intellectual property BEEM already has regarding their off-the-grid solar EV chargers. BEEM Global as of 6/30/2021. Now, as they update this, it's very similar numbers. Cash, 25 million. Working capital, 28.2 million. Debt, 0. So the key thing is, even after the acquisition of this new company, debt is 0. The company they acquired had no debt. BEEM had no debt. It was an all-stock transaction, so it cost them no money and no debt. This leaves them very healthy. They have a long cash runway, which is extremely important. So this is an interesting slide. They say, we win no matter who wins or loses in EV or EV charging. So they say, their product will charge any brand or class of EV. It will power any brand of EV charger. And then obviously to install it, there's no permitting, there's no construction, there's no electrical work at all. This rolls up and you turn it on. Basically, they say install time, I think they say 4 minutes or 4 hours or something like that. There's no utility bill. It's completely off the grid, and it's not vulnerable to blackouts. So this is kind of a summary of their sales pitch as to why people should use them. This is a supplemental charging station. This is not going to be a network of charging stations such as ChargePoint is building. These are more for governments and large organizations and university centers to have charging stations in their parking lot. Fastest deployed, most scalable EV charging infrastructure. They're saying 4 minutes, so we talked about that. So in New York City, it takes 24 months for a grid-tiered charger because of the permitting and et cetera. California, same thing, 18 months. If you're buying Beam, doesn't matter where you buy it, they're saying in 4 minutes we can get it set up and you're going. So this slide is just showing some of their clients. This is select clients. You know, these are some names you'll know and recognize. A bunch of governmental agencies, and that's going to be a big customer for them. There is a lot of federal money earmarked to get the EV charging infrastructure set up, so they will have a lot of municipalities at the local, state, and federal level, I think, all participating in buying their products. Cadillac is a name everybody knows, McDonald's, Google, Dell, General Motors. So there's a lot of high-profile clients, and a lot of these clients have only just started beginning to buy their product. All right, so let's go take a look at the chart and see what Beam is doing. Okay, so this is Beam's chart on the 1 day time frame. So each one of these candles represents 1 day. So you can see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. This green candle right here represents February 24th. So that was just less than 2 weeks ago. So if we look at what's happened with Beam in that short period of time, if we go from the low where they were trading on February 24th to today, which is March 8th. So again, that's less than 2 weeks. That's a 53% increase in the price of Beam stock. So that's what's happened over the last week and a half to 2 weeks. So that's a massive upside. Obviously today they're up around 10%. That's a big day, but I believe there's a lot of upside left. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm zoomed way out here because I want to show basically this green line of support goes all the way back to the year 2020. So, and that basically held for the entire year of 2021. It dipped below it momentarily and got right back above it. So this stock basically for the entire year of 2021 all the way until December 8th, Beam was trading above $25 a share. And you can see at one point it was trading well above $25 a share. This hit $75 a share back in January of 2021. So that was just over 1 year ago. There was a little bit of a bubble in these small cap high growth stocks at that time. So 75 is not a short-term price target I'm looking at all, but you can see it pulled back to about $40 and it stayed between $30 and $40 for many months. And then when it did dip down, it traded between $25 and $31 for the rest of the year. It ran back up and retested $40, and this was on November 10th, and that was about the peak of the market. From November 10th, almost all of the small cap high growth stocks have been absolutely decimated, and Beam is no exception. So from November 8th, which was just a local high, was by no means their all-time high. You can see they were much higher than this. But if we just bring this back down to reality, from November 8th until their low, Beam was down almost 73%. This was very typical. This is almost every stock that I trade and have in my portfolio took this kind of a dive. And that's why I'm buying them. I've been buying in on these giant dips because if you start to look at some of their numbers, a lot of these stocks, these valuations are insane. So again, this is not financial advice. I don't know where Beam is going, but I will tell you, for me personally, I believe this is massively oversold, and this first 50% run up is, in my opinion, just the beginning. You can see there's a long way to go from where Beam is trading right now, just to get back to this green line of support, which really was their low for a year. So this is a very low threshold. If they just can get back to that, that's another 50+% increase in the price of their stock. And then we'll just do two more real quick. If they can get back up to the top of this trading range, which was from $25 to $31, that would be over an 85% increase in the price of their stock. If they could retest this line at 40, which they hit several times last year, as late as November 8th, that would be a 140% increase in the price of Beam stock. Now, that's not going to happen overnight, any of these, but I do think these are very realistic 2022 price targets. In my opinion, even as the market may continue to go down overall, and the market is under a lot of pressure right now, in my opinion, these small cap high growth stocks that are down 70 or 80 or 90%, I feel like they've bottomed out, and the ones that are doing good things like Beam are starting to have a run. So this is already up 50% in the last week and a half. In my estimation, I think there's still a lot of upside that remains on this. So that's my update on Beam. Those are my thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.